Good afternoon, fellow Plexers. Today we're going to try to help Craig get his Plex server restarted on his DS920 Plus Synology NAS. Now I'm still lacking a little bit of information. So Craig, if this video doesn't help you get going, please supply this information. Let me know, even though it won't run, what version of Plex you're running. Also, did your Plex server that's worked fine for the last 2 years ever exist under DSM-6? DSM-7 will be 3 years old this June, or this July, one or the other. And people had trouble migrating their Plex server from DSM-6 to DSM-7. This may not be your issue. You may have installed Plex under DSM-7, but if you did install it under DSM-6, did you have trouble with the migration to DSM-7? And did you follow a guide like the Black Void Club to get it working? If DSM-6 was not in the picture, I'd like to know that with the next update of information. So we got to find out what version of Plex you're running, and one of the reasons we have to find out is it was only the previous update to the current version, or the update before that, that changed how Plex dealt with their own database. So it was a little bit of a longer update process. The update took a little bit longer to run, and then once Plex server was started, the database was being migrated, so you couldn't access your server right away. Might have took 60 seconds, it might have took 3 minutes, depending on how powerful the underlying platform was. So I don't know what the version number was, but if I see what version you're using, and it happens to be that migration issue, that's something I could research. So first off, before you do anything, restart your NAS. Then see if the package will run. If it doesn't, go ahead and uninstall it. Next, and then make sure the top option is clicked. Just uninstall only, so we can keep all the future files for reinstallation. While that's processing, go to your web browser and just search for Plex downloads, and you should come here. Hopefully the Plex Media tab is already selected, and depending on your operating system of your computer you're using, it's going to be one of these 3 choices. Mine would land on Linux. Make sure include beta releases is off, and then look for Synology DSM-7. And then slide down a bit and choose package, and you'll want the bottom one, Intel/AMD 64-bit. Now you'll see I've downloaded this a couple times, so I won't download it again. So then once you have it, and now Plex is uninstalled, no place to be found, don't search for Plex again. Go to the manual install, browse to select a file, pick the download that you just did, select, next, agree to that. And because I had Plex already installed, I'm not doing the second option of supplying a claim token. This would be for a new server. I'll just do normal installation. Plex is going to pop up a warning in case permissions aren't set properly, and you'll probably want to screenshot that just in case you need to use it. But I'll go through those steps anyway before we start the container up. So basically it says to open the control panel, select shared folders, select the share which contains your media, edit it, click the permission tab, change to the system internal user, and give Plex Media Server read-write, and then do that again for all your Plex media. So let's stop here for a second. And let's talk about directory structure for anyone who might also be watching this. So a package install on the Synology NAS under DSM-7 creates a folder called Plex Media Server. This is all your application files. Do not put media in this folder. Create a new shared media folder for your Plex media. I've simply named mine Plex. Probably not the brightest idea, but that's what I named it. For this test public server or test public domain server I'm working with today, I named a shared media folder Media PD. If I click on it, you'll see I have a sort folder for music libraries. I have a sort folder for movie libraries, TV show libraries, other videos, photos. And then if you know, this is a landing page or a landing folder for automatic acquisitions through the Star apps. You want that in the same media share as your Plex media to gain the ability of atomic moves, which is a file copy that appears to be instantaneous, or a file move. Let me just stay with this analogy. If files were coming into this shared folder and then they had to be automatically renamed and moved to this shared folder, that transfer happens across your local network and it takes time and it slows everything down. If the landing zone is right inside the same media share as where your media is, it's all instantaneous. So anyway, in the movie library sort folder, I have 4 different subfolders for 4 different movie libraries within Plex. Kind of self-explanatory. You can put documentaries into this, kids movies into that folder. Your regular movie library can go there, and there's even a 4th one for anything you might DVR if you have a approved tuner for Plex, like an HD home run. So the TV show sort folder is the same setup. Kids shows, a place for DVR if you want to keep your commercial content free from your commercial free content, and then the main TV show library. Alright, so that's the structure. Everything's in one folder, so I just have to worry about that one folder. So in case you need to add permissions, you would go into Control Panel, Shared Folder. You'd find your shared media folder, click on it, choose Edit, click the Permission tab, change Local User to System Internal User, find the Plex Media Server internal user, and then add read and write permission to that shared folder. Click Save, and now you've just given Plex permission. Oh, sorry about that. It opened off screen. You've just given Plex permission to access that shared folder. And you need to do that with Plex Media Server not running. So it is running automatically after the install. That's the good thing. And hopefully, Craig, yours is running now too, just by manually installing the latest version. So, a few key bits of information I need. Whether it's running or not, I need the installed version that won't open for you before you upgrade to the new one. And if the new one doesn't open, well, that's something else to start troubleshooting. And also, a simple reboot of the server might clear your issue whether you need to upgrade Plex or not. And for anyone else watching, it's frequently said that if you install Plex on a Synology NAS from the community applications, that you're doing it the wrong way, that you really should get it from Plex. Well, the first time you update this, that file's coming right from here. So if you don't believe me, run a test yourself. Install it from the Syno community. Get the Plex server going with the permissions. You'll see it needs an immediate update. And if you're in the interface of the web app to download the update, you'll see the file name is going to match this exactly. So there's really no wrong way to install Plex on a Synology NAS as a package. All roads lead to the actual package coming from Plex after the initial install. So Craig, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you. And if not, I just need a little bit more information, and maybe we can go from there. But reboot, update the server, even if you have to uninstall first to then update it. Try what works, and if you still can't get it going, I could help you transfer Plex to a Docker container. Docker containers are wonderful. Let me just show you that while I'm running my mouth. So this is the application folder. Plex Media Server, App Data, Plex Media Server. So you'd literally just copy this and you'd move it to this structure. You'd create a shared folder called Docker, lowercase. In that folder, you would create a container folder for Plex. Mine's simply named Plex PD. Could be named anything. And then you would create a library subfolder. And in that, you would create an application support folder. And in that, you could copy in this Plex Media Server folder from the package install. And then just when you spin the container up, it'll be your old server. Naturally, you can't run both a package and a container version of Plex on the same hardware, but you don't have to move it. You can copy it and spin the container up that way. So that would be a last resort method, but I can help you figure that out too if you really can't get the package of Plex going. And if it just recently happened, it may be related to the database upgrade that happened recently. And if you can't get going, I can research the Plex forums for you a little bit and see if we can get you straight. Thanks for watching.